Welcome back to another episode of Mafia Family Ties. I'm here with Greg Torlone. Greg, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you are a professional flag waver. We'll get into what that means. But glad you could make time and join us today.
Yeah, I'm glad you had me.
So let's just jump right in. Lifelong Bills fan?
Of course.
All right. So tell me your earliest Bills memories, favorite players growing up. Let me know your Bills fan origin story.
I think it was just because it was on TV really at the time and my dad was watching it. That's how I became a football fan. The earliest I can really remember watching it, I would say, is probably about 1995, 96. Unfortunately, I don't remember watching any of the Super Bowls. I was alive, but I was like, 2, 3, 4 years old at the time, and I don't really remember watching them. I remember picking it up 1995, 96, like I said. Thurman Thomas was my favorite player. I used to, anything that had a Bills logo on it, and like had the stripe, the helmet stripe, I would draw a 34 on it, like where the 34 would go. Thurman Thomas was my favorite player. And you're a kid. When you're a kid, you're attracted to you love all the stars. Mm-hmm. So Thurman by far.
Easy star to love.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude was amazing.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah. MVP of the league again a little bit before I started watching him, but he was just the most fun player to watch. As far as like a memory, like a game memory, is that what you mean? Like
whatever.
I have it's not a good one. It's not a good one because like the first time I can remember feeling pain from the football team was the Music City Miracle. I remember the games. The games before that, some of the playoff games before that, the Eric Moulds in Miami game that was a little bit before that. I remember watching it. I remember them losing, but I don't really remember the experience of watching it. The experience of watching, I remember the Music City Miracle and how I felt. That was like, oh, I'm actually sick to my stomach about this. And I watched SportsCenter. That's when I first probably started watching SportsCenter regularly. I was like, I need to take this in. I need to just expose myself to this and to hopefully desensitize myself to this as quickly as possible. To be honest with you, I'm still a little bit bitter about it because you'll never convince me. You could show me every single replay. I've seen the sideline angle, but you know what? Kevin Dyson is kind of on the 26-yard line, and Frank Wycheck is on the 24 and a half, maybe 25. So whether or not the ball went backwards, you advanced the yard line. Not necessarily in terms of the rules, but you advance the football. So that's my spiel.
I'm with you,
about
man.
The Music City Miracle. You could tell I remember it very well.
Well, I'm sorry to open up that trauma for you.
Yeah, I know. We started right away.
Let's go.
First question.
Therapy session.
First question. I'm already upset. Yeah.
We're going to change it from Mafia Family Ties to Mafia Family Therapy.
That's not a bad idea. You don't even have to change the acronym.
No, exactly. Touching on what I said a moment ago, professional flag waver. Explain to everybody who's watching what I mean by that.
So I am the game day flag waver for the Buffalo Bills. The guys you see running out of the tunnel and the guys you see running around in the end zone waving the flags when they score touchdowns and field goals. That is me. So
how long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that since Rex Ryan's first year. So that would be 2015. So, 2020 notwithstanding, I've done it, 11 years now.
I feel like you've been doing it like even longer than that. It's a lot of touchdowns.
Sort of feels longer. I did work in the stadium prior to that. I was actually a game day usher. I started that in 2011. I eventually just got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to all these games. I might as well get paid to be here because I'm spending all my money to go here anyway. So I might as well just get paid to be here. So it started as that.
That's awesome. So how did that happen? How did you get to be one of the four guys? It's four, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah,
it is four.
Yeah. How'd you get to be one of the four guys that runs out on the field and waves the flag when everybody's screaming the shout song?
Yeah. So there's this old business like adage. It's all about who you know, right? And that's the truth. So I went to high school with 3 of the 4 guys that did it. And then one of them moved to California. So I had already been employed by the stadium. So I reached out to one of them and I was like, hey guys, I would love to, join your crew. I am already on the payroll. I already have a badge. I'm already in the system and everything. I just need to move my department. And luckily enough, they came through for me. And it's really, it's the coolest job in the world. I have another really cool job, DJing weddings. I've seen you there. I've seen you at Mafia Con. I've seen you at random events throughout, but this is the coolest thing. I definitely do.
Do you have a specific touchdown that you remember? Maybe it was the first one. I don't know. where it just like really hit you like, holy crap, I'm doing something pretty amazing here?
It actually wasn't a touchdown. I think it was the first game, running out of the tunnel the first time, because what we have to do is we grab the flags and we go front and center, right down right up the yard line there, or whatever you might want to call that, where the Bills run out. And I'm standing there, waiting for my cue from one of the production people. And I'm like looking around, just kind of taking it all in. I'm like, wow, I am on the field and there are 73,000 people screaming around me. And you're just kind of like looking around, waiting for your cue. Like, man, I hope I don't fall or something like this. But yeah, it was that's your like my welcome to the NFL moment, I guess, is before the game even kicked off.
So have you ever slipped up a little bit or like?
Oh, it's funny you say that. I have not fallen, but it's funny you say that because just this year, I kind of inadvertently knocked my partner in the end zone over. It was during the Bengals game. Yeah, I believe it was the Bengals game. We crossed each other as, we were going side to side, sideline to sideline after the Bills score. And we usually just extend a hand, give a high five. And this time, I don't know what happened, but I extended the hand, and it's the weather, the elements. You remember the Bengals game, it was snowy. So my flag it's on my shoulder, and maybe the flag is a little bit behind me. It's obviously behind me, but like hanging behind me, it just wrapped up in his leg or something like that. And as I started running, it wrapped up in his leg, and I hear like a thud, but the noise was just incredible. You hear the crowd go, ooh. And I was like, oh no, what just happened? I turn around and he's like on the ground looking at me smiling. And I'm just like, oh no, you can't help. Like I'm laughing in the moment, but I feel really bad at the same time. So I'm waiting for him. I'm sure he'll probably try to get me back somehow. Maybe the first game at the new stadium, he'll try to embarrass me like that. But yeah, I only brought that up because I have not, fortunately, not screwed up.
Let's keep
I have
that going,
had issues where, like the flags are actually just kind of taped to the pole, where the tape kind of comes loose because it's so windy down there sometimes, and like the flag starts coming down the pole, and you're like, oh, this is super embarrassing. That happened during running out one time, but I'm not sure if anyone really noticed, to be honest with you. So there's issues that go on like any other job, but hopefully fans aren't really noticing. When I knock my partner over, though, so there's 70,000 people to see it.
That's wild. Those poles, sometimes they shoot sparklers out, or do they always? Or I remember sometimes like sparklers at the end of them.
Yeah, you might remember that. They used to have fireworks on the end of them. I don't know what year it was, but maybe it was, I would say it was pre-pandemic. The Tennessee Titans set their field on fire in a pregame, with a pregame firework thing. The field was set on fire. Right then and there, the NFL was like, done. Yeah. No more on-field fireworks or anything like that. So no, as far as I know, they will not be coming back, and they haven't been back since. Yeah,
because it's embedded in my memory. I'll see you guys down there. I'm like, oh, is there gonna be fireworks this time?
yeah. No, honestly, they were tricky too, because especially like in the winter months. In the winter months, fire them or something. So it was just like a trigger, but we would have to sort of like tie in the each end every time, like to the trigger. And when it's like wet and like those things, like I remember one time I was like setting it up. I'd put the flag down and just kind of set it up that way, because I didn't want it to like spray anybody in the crowd if it went off, if it was faulty or whatnot. And one was faulty one time, and I was like standing there, and it just, while on the ground, and everyone in the crowd's like, woo, and I'm like, man, these things are, I'm not too upset that they're gone, to be honest with you, because they were a little bit stressful.
Yeah. Like what value did it actually add?
Fans loved it. Fans loved it for sure. It was cool. It was cool to try to time it with the end of the shout song and everything like that. But I had to come up with something different. I try to do like a flag plant at the end of the shout song. Now that's my thing.
I love it. So, what time do you have to show up on game day? Like, do you get to tailgate at all or anything like that? Or how's that work?
The experience has changed a little bit. We're supposed to be there about 4.5 hours before the game. So for a 1 p.m. game, they typically ask us to show up by 8:30. There's a pregame meeting where they kind of go through the rundown. Are we part of the rundown? Not too much. Sometimes they might say, hey, they might have like a quick note for us or something like that. But usually that's just for, timing for, advertisements, and, our presence isn't really necessary, to be honest with you. So we do, not all of us, but sometimes we will do, hey, catch up with some friends that are in the parking lot or something like that and go out there. It's not a drinking fest for us or anything. We're on the clock.
Should hope not, right?
Right, of course. So, but yeah, we'll go out there and hang with the Mafia,
Love it. Your first game was you do preseason games too, right?
Yes.
Okay, so your first game was not like that Colts game in 2015 where it was so loud that it was inspiring people to like invite Guinness Book of World Records.
Technically, you're correct. Yes, there was preseason games before that I don't remember. I couldn't tell you who they even played. Yeah.
But for your first regular season game to be that game, I have to imagine was pretty wild. I remember I was on my feet the entire game. I remember, and like I said, it was so loud. I remember it inspired somebody to actually invite Guinness Book of World Records to come in and like measure the.
Oh, the decibel. Yeah. I think I do vaguely remember that. Yeah. It was the volume was insane.
Yeah. Is there one game where it was just like, I cannot believe how loud it is down here on the field? Like, does one game ever stand out, or is it always kind of like the same vibe? The
standard for crowd noise, I'm just going to say this, having been there, is still, after all these years, the Drayton Florence pick six against the Patriots in 2011. That is the standard for crowd noise. It is the loudest I have ever heard the stadium. It's a little bit different when you're on the field. It's a lot louder. Honestly, I will go back and watch the game sometimes afterwards. If it's a good game, I'll go back and watch it when I get home and kind of rewatch the broadcast because I don't have the luxury of the broadcast. And I'm like, wow, man, it definitely felt louder when I was there. And trust me, it is louder when you are there. The Patriot perfect game in the wild card round. That is our generation's. We might have a little bit different of a generational gap, but sorry, I don't mean to.
That's all good, dude.
God. That is my generation's 51-3 game, I think. And It was only a wild card game, but it felt like an exorcism at the time. Like we were just ridding ourselves of the demons. And that is really the loudest I can remember hearing it. To be honest with you, I don't even remember being cold. That's probably the coldest game on record since I've been doing this. I don't remember it being cold. Maybe by the fourth quarter where it was very clear and the Bills were up, 37 points or something. I'm like, all right, it's kind of chilly out here now. But in the moment, I don't remember feeling cold at all.
Yeah, in the stands, same way. I mean, my wife, she made sure that the whole family, we were all like layered up and everything. But I think I danced that whole second half. Like it was just. There's no way. How could you not be excited and dancing and having fun and who cares if you're cold?
I did so much running and dancing in the end zones myself. I couldn't get cold.
Yep. I have to imagine being on the field after a touchdown. Have you ever had any interactions with the players at all?
After touchdowns, not usually. I caught a pass from Tyrod Taylor one time. That was kind of cool. The fans immediately are screaming, "Give me the ball! Give me the ball! Give me the ball!" I can't do that.
Yeah.
I did have a thing with Josh, actually. There's no way he'd remember it, of course. It's just another play to him. But it was the Miami Dolphins, the game that clinched the division maybe 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. Yes, it was on a Saturday night, and it snowed throughout, maybe not the first half, but throughout the second half. Fans were like throwing snowballs and stuff like that. Josh slid to the sidelines right in front of me, and he was kind of shoved. I don't think it was too bad, but he was kind of shoved, and I'm Bills fan. I'm just like, I remember going like, "What is that?" If you see the video, you'll see me go, "What is that?" And then the flag comes out, and I'm like, "Thank you." And then mad rush of players, like there's shoving. I don't remember. I remember Bradley Chubb, Deion Dawkins being maybe the center of that, but everywhere. And Josh is still on the ground right next to me. So I am just like, I reach my hand out, and I'm like, I got to pick him up. I got to help him up. He's right there. Everyone else is in this scrum. So I like grab him. And right when I'm like, you starting flexing your arm, I'm like, this is Josh Allen. Like, this guy, he's a big guy. I'm like, I better plant my feet here. And I'm like planting my feet, getting ready to pick Josh up. And the referee, seriously, the official comes in and kind of like just gives me this little shove in the back. Not on purpose. He's got to get to the scrum. He's trying to separate people. I'm not blaming him. I guess I am blaming him. Yeah.
But blame the refs. This is a ref unfriendly show.
Yes, blame the refs. So he knocks me off balance, and I fell, and I almost fell on top of Josh, but like I'm stumbling, and he's like trying to get up, and he just kind of like falls back down. I'm like, you ruined my moment with QB1. The official, unbelievable. But somebody else ran in and got him up, and I gave him that pat on the shoulder, like, hey, it's gonna be all right. Or I don't know what it's just what you do in the moment. Yeah. Like, he's standing right in front of me. I guess I'll just double tap him on the shoulder. I have a friend who makes fun of me for that all the time.
Yeah, and your friend wishes that he got to double tap him.
Because he didn't do it. Yeah, he didn't get to do it. Exactly.
That's funny.
Actually, I have a story with a fan.
All right, let's hear it.
This is the story of the time I almost got fired. actually. So it was the 2019 Baltimore Ravens game. You might remember this. I think the Bills lost 24-16, would be my guess. Bills were very good at the time, maybe 9-3, but the Ravens came in and beat them. There was maybe a play at the end. It was close. It was a close game, of course. But there's a fan that comes down to the front row, and I talk with the guys in the front row all the time, especially during commercials and stuff like that, because I'm just standing there. I'm watching the game by myself, more or less. This fan comes down and he asks me if he can get Lamar Jackson's autograph. And I was like, I'm not really the right person to ask for this. He's like, well, how can I get it? I was like, you could go to an autograph signing, or an appearance of sorts or something. I'm like, but if you want to get it here, the only way that you're going to maybe do that is you got to go over there by the tunnel, You could try that after the game. And he's like, well, how am I going to get through all the fans? He's just asking me this question over and over again. And I'm like, honestly, I don't know. The bench was right there because I'm on the Ravens sideline at the time. I say, go over and ask him. I don't know. You just try. I don't know what to do. He's not going to sign for you in the middle of the game. Just go over and try. Very poor choice of words on my part, because what he did was go over the barrier. So he started climbing over the barrier, and I'm not going to touch him. Obviously, that's not my thing. That's not my department, So I'm just like looking at the security guys, like, and they grab him right away. He doesn't make it 3 steps, But what he told them was that a Bills official, I am not a Bills official. He told them a Bills official said it was okay to go over and ask Lamar Jackson for an autograph, middle of the game, and. Yeah, I had to explain that to some people, to some higher ups. They were not happy with me, but I think they understood the situation after the fact. And I'm very grateful that I was not let go for that, because I think, what they took it as is like I invited him on the field, which is obviously not the case. This guy, maybe drunkenly, I don't know, just misunderstood the context.
Not at a football game.
Yeah, not at a football game, of course. But yeah, that was a sweaty moment for me, to say the least. Yeah.
That's crazy. I think we originally met on Twitter just because of the videos that you were putting out on YouTube, just kind of like discussing the game. And back then it was always a lot of losses, talking about losses, and seeing you go like this. I don't know. Like, it's for so many times.
We still do that a little bit. It just takes a little bit longer into the year for that to happen.
And not every week.
Yeah, right.
So you're very analytical. I've picked up on that, obviously. Do you have any superstitions, though, about the game or what your role is in that? Like, I always have to make sure I hold the flag a certain way, or I won't put words in your mouth, but any superstitions?
No. Honestly, no.
All right,
I know
cool.
It's not a really cool, it's not a flashy answer, but no.
It's a yes or no question, I guess, right?
I guess it is. Ultimately, it is.
All right, so let's put you in the role of, say the Bills have approached you and say, even though you had that interaction with that fan, we want you to be a larger part of the production team. If you can add one element to the production, whether it's pregame, during game, and like the Bills approach you and say, hey, we want your expert opinion. We're going to implement whatever you say. What would you add to the production experience?
I can tell you that one thing that they looked into and I thought was a really cool idea was getting a live buffalo to come out on the field pregame. And I thought that was the coolest idea. Then they explained to me how much it costs. And I know what you're thinking, like football team, like you basically print money. But the cost was exorbitant. I'm not going to say what it was, but it was just like, they say a number and you're like, what? It costs what to have a buffalo on the field at the games?
Wow.
But that would be really cool. I think that would get fans really fired up.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Maybe not so much cleaning up all the all the bison pucky afterwards.
Yes, sure. I hopefully wouldn't be in charge of that.
Because I think the Broncos they have somebody that rides a horse, I think, around the stadium. At least they used to.
I believe that's right. Yeah.
But bison would be cool. But I get
it. Doesn't the Oklahoma Sooners do something like that with like a wagon or something like that
Probably.
too? I mean, there's plenty of precedent for it.
Yeah.
So
if you could add
the buffalo thing.
you would revisit the buffalo if you could. Awesome. You must see fans doing all kinds of things from where you stand during games. What's the one thing maybe you wish they wouldn't do, and what's the one thing you hope fans never stop doing in the stands?
In the stands?
Yeah.
I wish they wouldn't throw snowballs. I have been hit by them. Of course they're hitting somebody. They're not all making it to the field, you know? So I've been hit by them and you're just never expecting it because I'm facing the game and I get pelted in the back with them. I remember in that Miami game that I alluded to earlier, Josh was near me, I guess, at one point they were on the field. And there was maybe like a warning from the officials, like, if you keep throwing snowballs, we're going to penalize the Bills. And Josh, I could hear him from the field, like, stop. He maybe threw a 4-letter word in there as well. Like, he was really frustrated. And I understood it because he wasn't even really the one getting hit with them. It was us kind of on the sidelines. Like, I don't have to protect much equipment. My flag is just there. It's not really going to get hit by much, but there's tons of cameras and everything. And there's just these snowballs flying in, especially after like a pass interference call that people don't like, or the Dolphins score a touchdown or something. It's like, God, can you guys just stop throwing snowballs? It might seem like a small thing, but you're not the one getting hit with them, you know?
Yeah. No, I remember that game too. I think that game was my birthday, and we came there hoping to get there a little bit early. We actually didn't arrive until almost like the first quarter was over because Big Tree Road was so backed up because all of the private lots weren't parking cars because there had been a big snowstorm and everything.
Right.
And I remember walking down the tunnel or going to my seats and seeing all the white dots on the field, like, oh, okay, it's one of these. And then just the next thing happens and there's snowballs everywhere. And I remember Clay Moden over the loudspeaker saying, "Fans, listen to Josh.
Listen to Josh." Yes.
Stop throwing snowballs.
That was hilarious. Josh was very animated, very upset in the moment.
Imagine.
But yeah, I don't know. Think about this. If you were a visiting fan, like imagine you're a Dolphins fan in that moment. I know that's impossible to imagine, but imagine you're a Dolphins fan at the game in that moment. Wouldn't you just start throwing them nonstop? It's all I would do. Like if I were a visiting fan, I'd be like, they're going to penalize the Bills?
Yeah.
I would just start firing these things if I was a visiting fan.
I'd look like...
and there was no shortage of snow, obviously. You said there was a snowstorm. And I'm not really in the stands, but I think you can speak to this. When it's that bad, their priority is the aisleways. They leave the snow in the seats, basically. And you can sit on it. You can step on it if you want. You can try to clear it out. But the priority is the aisleways. So they kind of just move that really into the rows, into the seating rows.
All the
so there was no shortage.
There. Yeah. What's one thing you hope that fans never stop doing?
Showing up, I guess. I know that probably sounds simple and obvious, but yeah, just keep showing up for the Bills. I mean, it's the best. You see these like mic'd up situations of like, I remember Deion Dawkins maybe had one. I don't know if it was earlier this year or late last year. I can't remember the timing of it, but he was like, you ever just stop? And I don't even remember who he was talking to at the sidelines. He's like, you ever just stop and like look at the crowd? These are my people. I love them to death. It's because of who you are. It's because you're Bills Mafia. They love you. So keep showing up for them. I know that this is painful, especially right now. We are recording this just days after their 7th or 8th consecutive elimination from the playoffs. You know, it's painful right now, but keep coming for them.
One thing we like to do on this show every time is talk about wings. It's my favorite food. It's Buffalo's favorite food. Sure. I'm going to assume you like wings.
I do.
Okay, safe assumption. Do you have a favorite wing spot that you go to?
I have a hot take when it comes to wings in Buffalo, that they're all pretty good. There are some that are better. Barbell would be the one. This is the answer you're looking for. I'm going to answer the question. I think Barbell is the answer. I think the Cajun honey butter barbecue wing is the best wing I've ever had. But if I go somewhere else, I'm going to say these are pretty good. The rest of them, they kind of just all mesh together to me. I know that will probably upset some people. I really like Doc Sullivan's too. Most people probably don't say that. I'm not really that much of a South Buffalo guy. I moved out of there when I was 6 years old, but I do like Doc Sullivan's. And I think their wings are really rarely talked about, but are very good.
It's hard to find bad wings in Buffalo.
I agree.
I mean, they're out there, but you have to look for them.
Then there's so much debate. It's like, oh, 9/11, Elmo's, Gabriel's Gate, Barbell. And I apologize if I missed you, but like, you don't need to debate that to me. They're all very good. I think they're all very good. And then there's just certain flavors, I think, that take it over the top. For me, like I said, it's the Cajun honey butter barbecue at Barbell.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had that before, because whenever I go to any spot for wings, I always just either go medium or hot. I never get like adventurous. Yep. I know some of them, Wing Nuts, I think they'll do like flights where you can actually have like different kinds.
I've never had the wing flight. I did have wing nuts. I had wing nuts for the Broncos game this past weekend. Very good.
What's the most you've ever put down?
The most I've ever put down in one sitting was probably, I know exactly where I was. It's a place that does not exist anymore, but it did all you can eat wings on Wednesdays for $10. So I'm probably aging myself because this is just no chance that type of deal would ever exist anymore. But I had 33. 33 in one sitting. I was probably 20 years old. Wow. You know, and I remember starving myself all day, and I was like, I'm just gonna go all out when we get there. My buddy that I went with had 50 in one sitting. I swear to God. Yep. You order like 20 to start, I think, and they give you that, and then they like bring you like 5 every time. It's like, oh, can I get a few more? And then they're like, okay, 5. 5. They're not going to bring you 20 more, because it's all you can eat. And I just kept going. I got to 33 in one sitting. Wow.
Yeah. I think we know why they're out of business now.
Yeah. I guess that was maybe not the best business idea for them.
What place was that?
It was called Hooters. Have you ever heard of it? There used to be one.
Explain it to me.
There used to be one. Yeah. Well, they have this really good business model.
Yeah.
Anyway, there used to be one by University of Buffalo, in like Amherst, and I had a couple buddies that would want to go every week, and we were 19 and 20 years old, so that was like
obvious. That
was cool to us, Looking back, it seems kind of childish, but the wings were very good.
I love how you're like, sorry, I fished that out there.
Yeah. No worries. No worries. I didn't mention it at first, but I had no problem actually mentioning it.
That's funny. Well, this was great, man. I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah.
It's a really cool experience that you have that's unique to only 4 people in Buffalo for every Bills game. So thanks for sharing a little bit of that with us.
Yeah, my God, of course. Maybe more. They told us they might actually add a couple more when the new stadium opens.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be just a long line of people to interview for that.
Yeah, let me know where the application is. Maybe
I will do. Will do. You can't trade your position as Mafia Admiral.
Maybe I could do part-time.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, dude.
For sure.